Welcome back everyone to the community garden. It's a hot day today, so this is going to be a pretty quick video. It's about 95, maybe 96 degrees right now here in Texas. And it's not even July yet, so that's to say anything. It's going to be a hot July and August. So that's good for plants, as long as it doesn't get too hot and I don't have to water 2 or 3 times a day. We should be good. Without further ado, let me kind of just show you guys first what I've been doing. I started doing it and it's just too hot to finish it all today. I like the way it looks right now, but I think what I'm gonna end up doing is waiting until I have bigger patches. Actually, let me just show you. So you can see these are the pathways right here, and then up there, the pathways I already had. And this is what I said I was gonna do to the whole patch. What I think I'm gonna do though, so you can see, I've got my two holes for the blackberry and raspberry. I got my basil. I was able to get my thyme and my spearmint. Let's see if we can give it a little more. Well, it'll figure it out. I'm not worried about that, honestly. So this is about 10 to 12 feet right here that I've already done. And I was able to luckily do it in one strip of this this weed block. But it's gonna get into this part where it's, I mean, if I wanted to do it, ideally the way I would want to do it would be like in between there, even in between this lettuce and the tomato, that kind of stuff. So what I'm gonna do is, these beets are probably 2 or 3 weeks away. I'd assume the kale will be able to be semi-harvested at that point. What I'll do is I will just wipe, once I harvest the things and I have a big enough patch, again the lettuce, that can go pretty soon too, probably in the next week easily. But just sitting out here and trying to weed all of this before I put it down, I feel like I've lost about two pounds of water weight. So with that being said, again, I'm going to go ahead and just wait for these to mature, harvest, and then another patch right there. Tomato plant will probably be a little bit longer, so we'll try to get pretty much all the way to the tomato, and then work our way down as things get harvested and are no longer viable. So that being said, let's go ahead and start off on this side this time. As you can see, these two guys right here, both of them are still kind of, like we said, it's going to be a little while before they have any grow, so any growth. I mean, not grow. Sorry, it's very hot out here. So the basil, we have the basil doing really well. We have our thyme and spearmint doing pretty well. Got some big leaves on these beets. You can see down in there. Let's see if you can see it pretty easily. Yeah, you can kind of see down in there. Move over to the other side so my shadow's not nearly as in the way, because I think this is probably the best one you can see. Yeah, so you can see we got a beet right there and there. So we're getting there. Again, it's going to be a little bit longer, but I'm not really in any big of a rush, or any kind of rush. So we'll just go ahead and play it by ear. If nothing else, once everything's harvested, we'll do this to the entire section. But I prefer to be able to do it in stages. That way I can kind of plant and weed at the same time. Let's move on to the kale. Kale's looking awesome. Super excited about these leaves. We do have some pests, but as long as they keep to a minimum, we'll be good. Actually see this, some of this lettuce. Actually, we're just gonna go ahead and pull this one. Throw that over there for a second. We'll go ahead and water this guy, and then maybe come back tomorrow morning and try to harvest it before it gets hot. That way it has plenty of time overnight to kind of plump up, and yeah, we already got stuff eating it too, so we want to make sure we harvest this as soon as we can. But again, I don't want to harvest it in this condition, because that would just it would go bad a lot quicker. If I ate it all tonight, that wouldn't be that big of a problem, but again, I want it to be kind of crisp and not floppy, and kind of just I guess floppy. So let's move on to this tomato plant. We've got some damage on what was the biggest tomato. You can kind of see a little bit right there. Again, that's something I can cut off. I'm not worried about that. We got another guy right here, and we're just getting tomatoes everywhere. So you can just see, I think there's probably a dozen on here so far. I went ahead and weeded, or not weeded, but I went ahead and took a lot of these branches off that were no longer in need, or that they were no longer needed. So you can kind of see that it's a little bit less bushy, but again, the more they work their way up, the more I'll take vegetation off the bottom. That way we can ideally just get it kind of clear, get all this stuff off the ground, no disease. So let's move on to our cherry tomatoes. We've actually got one little guy right there, and I believe two right there. So 2 of them right there, and they're doing good. We're just gonna let them go. Same thing for the beefsteak. I don't believe we have any beefsteak tomatoes yet. Let's see. Let's look at the size of that trunk. It's already about 1 inch thick. No, I don't see any. None yet, so we'll wait for those. I think they have to get a little bit bigger before they start really putting off fruit, so no worries there, we'll wait. These are the cayenne peppers. I just think with the Texas heat, I mean, well, I don't know if you can see that, but I'm just glistening. I think this Texas heat just might be too much for the adolescent peppers we have right here. We'll see what happens, but again, if these don't grow another probably 4 or 5 inches in the next 2 weeks, we'll probably go ahead and take these guys out. That was the problem, and we knew this was going to happen, but I just wasn't able to get in here quick enough to be able to throw down everything as well as like plant stuff, so that's okay. Moving on to our peppers and also kind of the watermelon as well. We can see all these watermelon blooms. We've got our 2 banana peppers so far. Let's see, I think those are the only ones right now. We've got a lot of buds, but no peppers, I don't think, on any of the other ones. And they're just getting hit by this heat so much too, so we'll keep an eye. Oh, actually, there's 2 right there, which makes me wonder. I wonder if this is actually a bell pepper, because this looks more like a small bell pepper, and this looks like a banana pepper. So we'll keep an eye on those guys. We'll move on to the watermelon. The watermelon is just going crazy. It loves this heat. It loves the Texas summer. But I haven't seen any fruit yet. Again, we've had several blooms. A lot of these guys too. They're just kind of falling off though. But we'll see what happens. I think there's going to be pretty decent growth here in the next probably 2 weeks on the watermelon front. So we will keep an eye on that. As for our cucumbers, you guys ready to see some magic? We've got about a 4-inch guy right there. This one I might actually even take home today. I don't know if you can, how well you can see that. It's kind of blocked by all the, let's go ahead and just harvest it, because he's got another one on there as well actually. Let's see if I can get that. There. So, but you can see that he's got another one on there, so I think now that I pulled this one off, and that's a nice sized cucumber. So, super excited about that. He's probably about, say about 5 inches long, about 2 inches wide. So, again, super excited about that. We've got more just down there. We got one there. We've got, again, this big one right here. We've got a small one right there. So, he's really starting to put off the fruit now. I wonder if you can see any down there. Yeah, there's a few down there, you can see. Looks two right there. There's that one that was connected to the one we just pulled. You got a few down there as well. So I think that now that the cucumber is wrapping up enough to not be like 6 inches off the ground, it's probably about 12 inches now for most of these, at least a foot off the ground. So again, we're getting cucumbers now, guys, so super excited about that. Kind of sad news with the cabbage. We'll keep letting it grow, but I'm not sure what to do. I don't think I put the DE on fast enough, or the diatomaceous earth. I don't know if I said that right, honestly. Now that I think about it, that didn't sound right. Anyways, the DE that Jan recommended, I think it was really starting to help out this plant, but this one you can see is just getting completely obliterated. Not sure if it's caterpillars, whatever it is, but it doesn't really matter. It's getting eaten. And so we'll see what happens. This guy's starting to finally come up, but again, he's just getting eaten from the inside out. So again, not really exciting about the cabbage. We'll try again another time, but it doesn't seem like it's gonna be something that is gonna really grow for us that much. Let's move on to our peas. As you can see, there's 2 right there. There's a 3rd, 4th. Let's see if we can see any in here. And we got another one right there. And we got another one right here. Actually, that's probably about good enough to harvest right there, that one. So we got some great growth on the peas. Let's move it around here, see if we can see any under here. Yeah, a few. That might be the one I pulled through the other side actually, but I'm kind of surprised there's not nearly as many peas as I thought. I've already harvested about 4 or 5 just to put in a salad. So that was nice. So, but they have not been growing up the trellis as much as I would have expected. Actually, we got a few up there, never mind. So, or up the corn, I should say, not the trellis. But as you can see, we have our first cobs. They are just doing great. We got 2 right there. We got another 2 right there. We got another guy right over there. And then look at these guys. They are just going crazy. I think I'm gonna have to self-pollinate here pretty soon. And so if you guys would, I believe I just need to take that off and then hit all the tassels. But let me know if there's like a specific way you guys do it. I know that most people don't grow corn to grow 4 or 5 plants of it, but if you have any kind of suggestions, I'm all ears for suggestions on getting a really good germination and pollination rate, I should say. So very excited about that. Ooh, we got a little guy up there. Let's see what that is. I don't know what that was, but I don't think I want him on there. Ooh, he just landed on my ear. Okay, but yeah, so we got some great growth again down here. Just to reiterate, got tomatoes down there too, doing really good. But just to reiterate, this is what it's going to be along the entire thing, and then next season we'll go ahead and mulch everything, and be able to just throw down some cardboard, get all these weeds out. That way, our plants just do that much better. Because as you can see, so that's my tomato plant. Granted, it was put in nearly a month after, but we walk over here. And it feels like we got a master gardener over here. They took off the larger of these heirloom varieties, but look at the size of this guy. He's got dozens and dozens and dozens of tomatoes. He's got some nice big Anaheim peppers in there as well. So it's sad to say, but I think we just missed the boat this season, at least for the spring and summer harvests. We're still getting something, so that's so awesome, but it's just not going to be nearly as much as we expected because we just weren't able to get in here quick enough to do everything we needed to do as far as planting, mulching, all that kind of stuff. So I apologize if my nose is all runny. Well, it is all runny, I know that, but it's hot, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you got any comments or suggestions about that corn, let me know down in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button. And as always, if you're new, subscribe. If you're subscribed, hit that bell. That way every time I release a video, you get a notification. And as always, guys, I'll see you next week. Thanks, guys. Bye.